Namaste children, welcome to the class. Today we are going to start our last block, that is reading an informational text. So informational text means a text which has some information for us to know, the unknown information which we are going to learn from this lesson. So today we'll be knowing about reading an informational text and identify the key details in it. So what are these key details? Let us see the meaning. So facts means the information that is known or proved to be true. Opinion means one's own feelings or thoughts about someone or something. Information means facts or details about someone or something. Key details means important information that supports the main idea of the text. Informational text means the text that gives information about something important or about someone which is important. Key details means these are the important, the main idea of the text. Without these key details, the text itself is useless, I can say. So for this, today you have to open your content book to page number 42. Yes, have you all opened your content book to page number 42? Here, soar up high. Imagine you are running across a field, watching a colorful kite swaying in the breeze high up in the air and the sun shining in the sky. How would that feel? How do you feel? Exciting, right? Well, this is exactly how kite flyers feel. According to some historians, kite flying originated in China over 2000 years ago. So this is how the kite flying has started. This is how the kite flying has started in around 2000 years ago in China. Okay, now we'll go on to the next picture. Now next page. Turn to the next page. At that time, kites were flown for formal purposes like sending messages, testing wind direction, and measuring distances. Today, people fly kites for recreation, means for rejoicing themselves, for fun, for entertainment. They are flying the kite. They may book an afternoon to enjoy flying kites. Children can be seen flying all kinds of kites, like they are fancy kites, colorful ones to crude, single colored ones. So, when you are in third class, you have learnt about the kite poem, the kite story. There are the dragon kites were there, butterfly kites, right? And there are some star kites. So there are different varieties of kites. A square shaped kite, rectangle shaped kite. They will be in the form of lanterns. So there are different colored, beautifully shaped kites are there. And these kites usually in olden days they were used to send the messages, to test in which direction the wind is blowing, and for measuring the distances also they used to use this kite. But nowadays we fly the kites for recreation. One might wonder what is so special about kite flying. So why it is so special? Why the kite flying is so special? Let us see. The wind is free and so is the space, says Yoli Yong Ong Kingo. Yoli Ong Kingo, a kite enthusiast. So there are some people who preferably take this as their hobby, kite flying. They feel that the air is free, the space is free, isn't it? The wind is free and so is the space, says Yoli Ong Kingo. He was a kite enthusiast, means he loves the kite flying. He prepares a number of varieties of kites. He loves to fly the sky, soar up in the sky. So kite flying is an affordable activity that doesn't require expensive equipment or gadgets like scuba diving or playing video games. You just need an open field and the wind. It is also a good form of exercise for kite flyers because they run and play outside. Above all, kite flying gives people an opportunity to bond with family. Many people get away from the chaos of the city to enjoy the kite flying with their families in peace. So kite flying is an affordable activity, means it is not expensive. Any sort of family members, may be rich or poor, they can afford for it, which doesn't require some expensive materials or the gadgets like for scuba diving or for playing video games. We just need an open area. And the most important thing which is lacking now, that we'll get by kite flying, that all the family members will come together. We will get an opportunity to meet each other and we can go away from this chaos of the city and we can spend the time in peace. Yoli Onkingo and her husband Orlando formed the Kite Association of the Philippines in 1993 to keep the tradition of kite flying alive. Orlando associates kite flying with happiness and freedom. At KAP, means Kite Association of the Philippines, they dream of making kite flying an essential part of every child's life. To realize dream of making kite flying an essential part of every organize various kite flying events and kite making workshops in schools. The tradition is also being revived through websites and the social media pages. As a result, people are now becoming interested not only in flying kites but also in making their own kites to fly high up in the air. So Yoli Onkingu and her husband Orlando, they formed a Kite Association of Philippines KAP in 1993 to keep up the tradition and to keep that kite flying alive. So all the people, they will, these associates, they like the kite flying with happiness and freedom, and they organize various kite flying events. And how they will get advertised, they'll put it in the through the websites or the social media pages. As a result, people are becoming interested. They are showing lot of interest in flying kites, and also they are trying to make their own kites and they wanted to fly up, high up in the air. Feeling inspired? Go on and make your own kite soar up high. So now this association, KAP, Kites Association of the Philippines, has created this how to make. They are giving the training how to make the kites. So now you may see, are you eager to make your own kite?
Imagine you are running across a field, watching a colorful kite swaying in the breeze high up in the air, and the sun shining in the sky. How would that feel? Exciting, right? Well, this is exactly how kite flyers feel. According to some historians, kite flying originated in China over 2,000 years ago. At that time, kites were flown for formal purposes, like sending messages, testing wind direction, and measuring distances. Today, people fly kites for recreation. They may book an afternoon to enjoy flying kites. Children can be seen flying all kinds of kites, from fancy, colorful ones to crude, one-colored ones. One might wonder, what is so special about kite flying? The wind is free, and so is the space, says Yoli Onkinko, a kite enthusiast. Kite flying is an affordable activity that doesn't require expensive equipment or gadgets, like scuba diving or playing video games. You just need an open field and the wind. It is also a good form of exercise for kite flyers because they run and play outside. Above all, kite flying gives people an opportunity to bond with family. Many people get away from the chaos of the city to enjoy kite flying with their families in peace. Yoli Onkingo and her husband, Orlando, formed the Kite Association of the Philippines, KAP, in 1993 to keep the tradition of kite flying alive. Orlando associates kite flying with happiness and freedom. At KAP, they dream of making kite flying an essential part of every child's life. To realize this dream, they organize various kite flying events and kite making workshops in schools. The tradition is also being revived through websites and social media pages. As a result, people are now becoming interested not only in flying kites, but also in making their own kites to fly high up in the air. Feeling inspired? Go on and make your own kite. Soar up high.
Yes, have you seen the video? What is the text about? Was your guess correct? Now let's open our content book again to see what is the soar up high, and you have to find out the 3 key details that will make you understand the text about. So what are the key details? Let us see. The text is mainly about the importance of flying kites. It tells us where kite flying originated and why people like to fly kites. It also tells us how clubs organize kite flying events to keep the tradition alive. So, what details in the text help us to understand what the text is about? So, the details are: the facts in an informational text help us understand what the text is about. To identify the most important facts, we find the answers to the who, what, when, why, and how questions of the topic. So, here is the organizer which tells you about the importance of flying kites. So, who? People fly kites. So what they are doing? They are flying the kites. When it has started? It has started originated in China 2000 years ago. So why it is so? It is to keep up the tradition of kite flying alive. And how they are doing? They are organizing various events, and through websites and through social media pages they are organizing these events. Are the details in an informational text important, and why? Yes. No, all the details in an informational text are not important. We must pay attention to the facts given in the text. The details without which the text would not make much sense are the key details. They tell us about the big idea or the main idea of the text. The other details are less important than the key details. Now here if you see, the key detail is kite flying originated in China over 2000 years ago. This is important. Whereas they may book an afternoon to enjoy the flying kite. This is not important. It varies from person to person, whereas this is only one. Okay. So this is the key detail. Now it's the time for you to open your workbook and complete your worksheet. Yes, ma, have you all opened your workbook to page number 27, reading an informational text? So here you have to tick the sentences that tells us what the text soar up high is about. So first one is, earlier kites used to be made up of leaves. No, this is not correct. So this is wrong. There are no open spaces left for kite flying. No, this is not correct. Kite flying is a great and affordable activity. Yes, this is true. This is what we are learning about soar up high informational text. There are many kite flying groups across the world. No, it's not like that. Okay. Now if you see question number 2, write 5 key details from the soar up high that helped you understand what the text is about. So what are the key details? First one, kite flying originated more than 2000 years ago. It is originated in China. At that times the kites were flown for formal purposes like for sending messages, for testing the wind direction, or for measuring the distances. So now it is also a good form of exercise, and it is an affordable activity which that gives people a lot of recreation, and also it bonds the family members with lot of love and affection. These all key details you have to write down. Now if you see question number 3, read these details. Which one is more important and why? Detail 1 is kite flying gives people an opportunity to bond with their families. Detail 2 is many people get away from the chaos of the city to enjoy flying kites with their family. So two details are important, but which is most important here? We can say the first one is more important because it tells us that about the main idea. It answers that why kite flying is important. So detail 1 is more important than detail 2. So this is how you have to complete your worksheet. Now it's the time for you to open your content book. Yes, all of you open your content book to page number 46. Now here, first one, what is the text soar up high about? Tick the correct answer. So what is it about? Is it about kites and kite flying, Independence Day, recreational activities, or Chinese history? This is the first one is the correct answer. So based on the text soar up high, answer the questions. When did kite flying originated? What was the purpose of kite flying in ancient times? The purpose is to measure the distance, to see the wind direction, to send the messages. These all were the answers. These are the purpose of flying kites in olden days, in ancient days. Do you think kite flying is a way to enjoy yourself? Yes, it is a way. It is the best way to enjoy ourselves. How can you say your answer with evidence from the text? We can say that because that the family members all together, they bond, they come together and they'll spend their time in peace. So this is how we can say that it is we have taken this as the evidence from the text. So these two questions, question number 2 and question number 3, I will give in the document. I will give, no need to worry about it. So in this way you have to complete your 20.1. Thank you children. Have a great day.